Hey everybody, I'm Joe. And this is Wade, and we're with the Criterion Connection. And Wade can't say his own name.
This is take 4.
You good?
Yes.
Censor yourself.
Yes. This is a suggested movie suggested by Electric Mastro or Maestro. Maybe I typed it wrong. I don't know. It's Electric Mastro. I hope so. This is your suggestion from a couple weeks ago. It was John Cassavetes' movie. We did it previously with The Shadows, and we didn't like it.
Oh, we thought it could have been better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is our second one. So did he redeem himself?
Yeah. We're doing another one. We told you we'd do another one.
After years of making more movies, instead of his first movie, so we're doing A Woman Under the Influence from 1974.
A classic. Out of the catalog.
Spine 253. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more than Shadows.
It was nominated for 2 Academy Awards.
For the acting?
One was Gina Rollins as actress.
Yes.
And Best Director for John Cassavetes.
Okay. No love for Peter Falk?
I know, Peter was great in the movie, man.
You know, it took me until he got into a suit to realize, oh my god, that's Columbo.
You know what I have to do?
That
was Columbo?
that was like an hour and a half through the movie.
I knew it was Columbo when it said Peter Falk.
Yeah. So,
yeah, he doesn't really look like the Columbo we grew up with, but like this is before Columbo.
Yeah, it is. That's also, oh my god, because he's wearing his suit. I'm like, oh my god, it's him. The whole time he's wearing that weird the hat, the jean
with
hat.
the Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this movie, I'm gonna say it now. This is a very stressful movie, but based on not stressful as in it's hard to get through. It's more of stressful situations. Just really stress you out. Like what? Peter Falk's character is so baffling. It takes me a while to realize oh, he just doesn't get it.
Yeah,
he invite the whole his work, the spaghetti dinner.
You're
just like, why would you put her in that situation? And you're like, oh, he doesn't understand the situation.
There's a lot with this movie, and there's so many factors, and I don't know exactly if people are going to understand kind of the climate, like I know neither of us were alive then, but we kind of did grow up at the tail end of that stigma of having mental illness, which it's still kind of got that stigma, but people have been actively working on, trying to get rid of it and saying no, you need to get help.
Yeah.
So this is back in the time where it was really, people looked down and they didn't want to deal with it. They just tried to ignore it, which makes you understand Peter Falk's character. He's trying to ignore it almost the entire movie, and it just keeps compounding and compounding. And this movie is so good.
Also doesn't help calling her wacko. That doesn't help the situation, Peter.
Yeah.
Or Nick. His name is Nick in the movie.
His name is Nick in the movie. Nick Longhetti.
That's Italian.
Yeah.
And then his
wife,
they
always serve spaghetti.
And his wife, I always saw her the whole
Mabel.
time. Mabel. For half the movie I thought it was Maple. But
yeah.
Mabel, that makes less. Mabel. Yeah, she has an issue. They never explain what the issue is.
I think they were just being really kind of obscure with it anyway.
Also, they didn't really explain, has she always had this issue, or is this, recent? Because, they have 3 kids. You mean tell them, why would you keep having kids? But then again, they all look the same age, so are they triplets?
Or I think the girl's the youngest.
Yeah, and then there's the 2 boys.
And then Angelo is the next oldest, and then the oldest is Tony. Which is the
Italian.
Which is the one that a lot of times, gets more of the dialogue than the other 2.
Yeah.
But, this movie, the plot kind of...
There's not really a plot until halfway through.
I mean, there's a plot, but it kind of does what short stories do, where it's the most important moment of a character's life, and it picks up kind of in media res, in the middle of everything, and it basically focuses around that most important moment, which is when she gets committed. And I mean, this is a long movie. It's 2.5 hours almost. But it's really good. It sets a lot of things up. You know, it shows her as a mother. It shows her dealing with kind of
being alone,
being alone and kind of left to her own devices. It shows her, you know, with the kids. It shows her in stressful situations, and how much she tries, but can't overcome this illness that she has, and it pops up. And then you see the struggles that Peter Falk's character, Nick, goes through of not wanting to have a wife that has a mental illness, of trying to just kind of sweep it under the rug, of just trying to corral her and deal with other people, and being very insecure. They're both incredibly insecure about it throughout the whole movie.
And
he's like, "You don't think my wife's a wacko, do you?"
That's,
you know, stuff like that.
Now you said it, that makes sense why he brings like his workmates in the beginning of the movie. So he's like, see, she's not crazy. She's normal.
Yeah, and then you have those incredibly, I can't really think of a better term, but kind of cringy kind of scenes where you're just kind of squirming.
What's your name?
When you're squirming in your seat and things are going downhill. Because you really feel for her. And Gina Rowlands puts in a amazing performance.
Yeah.
And Peter Falk is great in the movie too. Some of the kids,
yeah.
But the main two, they're fantastic.
Yeah, that's the movie. Is those two?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's let me see if I wrote notes to this movie. Let's see if there's any. I hate auto lock so much. I hate auto lock. Okay, so this movie. What makes the movie work for me is it feels real. Feels like it's a real, like you're there. Because the camera work is not impressive at all.
It's all handheld.
Like it's handheld, and the camera, sometimes someone's head is blocking the shot.
I mean, that's kind of Cassavetes' movies. I think they're all shot handheld.
Yeah, like it feels intimate. It feels like you're in the room. Like when you're sitting at the dinner table, and then one of the characters' heads moves into the frame, and it blocks the entire shot, but then he moves his head back. It feels like you're sitting in that seat.
And there's a lot of small things like people overlapping in dialogue, or somebody's humming something while another character's talking. And there's things like that are happening a lot.
This really works in one scene is when she comes back from being committed. They're sitting, her and the family are sitting at the table. They're all staring at her, but you don't see her face. You don't know how she's reacting. You don't know if she's freaking out. You don't know if she's normal.
Which
it makes you be like, what's going on? What's going on? Because they're staring at her, smiling. They've really.
That's a creepy scene.
Yeah.
At least that shot.
Especially the doctor's really creepy.
Yeah. And it's just like you see a bunch of people who they grew up with mental illness, having the stigma, but they're trying to be supportive. And they just don't know. They don't know jack about it.
I feel like I'm missing something, but was there something with the dad?
Her dad?
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of uncomfortable with the fact that she has this mental illness, but I think I
had vibes that he molested her.
It's possible.
Like
when she sits on the chair.
Yeah,
and
he's like, "Isn't she beautiful?" And I'm like,
"Yeah."
And then she's kissing him a lot on the forehead, and I don't know if that's just like a.
That could be that. And
then she said, "Stand up."
It could be a hidden cause.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that?
Well, yeah, because she says it could have been somebody else, and she might have told him or something, and that's why she says, "Stand up for me," and then he stands up and he's like, "I don't know what you mean," and she goes, "You know what I mean. Stand up for me." And it's such a powerful.
And he's like,
movie. Yeah, and the mother knows. She's like, "You know what she's talking about," and it's a really.
This movie could have been cut down now.
It's a character. It's a character study. Really, it's not heavy on like a big plot. It's just this character and a mental illness and how it affects her and her family and her friends.
But the first half of the movie is really drags. Like I feel like the first half of the movie is like really setting it up, trying to build the tone, and then the last half of the movie is like
it's
fast.
I think you kind of have that slow pace because it's slowly building.
They also have a weird house.
They do. They do have a really odd floor plan.
Yeah. Also, I've never seen a person's home bathroom says private. Never seen that before.
I have, believe it or not. But that's besides the point. But it slowly builds because she's relatively normal in the beginning, and
she's a little bit like,
and there's
you gotta take care of the kids.
Yeah, she seems like a really nervous, anxious mother with the kids, and then when the husband doesn't get to come home when he makes that date, and you see him like, I want to go home, I want to be with my wife, you don't understand, I need to be with my wife, and that's when you start getting like, there's going to be more, and then she goes to the bar and ends up going home with that guy, and he figures out he's way in over his head. The bartender seemed to know. He's like, good luck.
Yeah.
And it keeps building and building. And when Nick brings home all the workmates, you know, she has the what's your name? She wants to meet it. And that could be just her being awkward and she doesn't know because there's some of them that she didn't know. And then there's the ones that he's like, you don't remember me? Like, I think that's why that's there. I remember your wife. Yeah, I remember your wife, but I don't remember you. And it just keeps building, and then she starts getting the hand gesture and the vocal mannerisms, and until she gets committed. And then
when she has a nervous breakdown, that's where things really get.
And the father, I'm sitting here half the time going, that guy might need to be committed because he
has anger issues.
He's got all kinds of issues, and at the end, when he pretty much like breaks her, and wants her to like revert back to the old way, just so he can feel like there's nothing wrong, and it's such a great movie, guys.
The movie could be there's scenes you could cut down a lot. But most of the stuff when she's committed and he's alone with the kids, it just kind of like the beach scene.
I don't know. Yeah,
maybe the guy falling down the hill. There was no payoff to that. Just it happens. Breaks every bone of his body, and you're like, okay, does it tie in later? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he get in trouble for it? No. Okay.
I don't know. But I thoroughly liked the movie.
I liked it. I liked the movie a lot. The only critiques I have is like, it could have been cut down. Didn't have to be, but it could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's some like you could probably cut a little bit of that dinner scene, the spaghetti scene. You cut a little bit of that out. A little bit. A lot of opera.
Yeah, she's big in the opera, song and dance.
Yeah.
And ballet.
Yeah. And
which
drinking.
Gets her in trouble a few times.
Yeah. Also, it's really manic. Like in the middle, where she has a nervous breakdown, where she brings the guy's kids.
Yeah.
And then the kids are naked, and you're just like, what is going on? And you feel like Peter Falk when he walks in, like, what the?
Yeah. And not to mention the other kid's father. I forgot he had a son too. And he's like, what? I can't leave them alone with her. You know, it's
yeah.
It can be kind of rough, but there's good fun moments too. Like there's moments where you can chuckle and you see like kind of how everybody is with each other.
There's one character. He was sitting next to Mabel, and he tells this joke about the moon, but I have no idea what he said. He was like, the moon, and everyone starts laughing.
Oh, he said,
what is the, I don't get the... Like,
well, what's funny is I had closed captioning on by accident, so I just watched the whole movie with closed captioning.
I couldn't get the film closed captioning to work, so I just kind of went blind.
So, basically Nick brings up why it seems like there's a lot more kids
it's in the air.
He's like, it's in the... Yeah, he really focuses on that.
It's really that story.
The other guy poses the theory that it's because of the moon, and they're like, what do you mean the moon? And he says strontium, moon dust has, from when they were playing golf, has floated towards the moon, floated towards the earth, and started affecting women, is what he was saying.
And that joke was hysterical, apparently?
They're like, I think they were just same as the audience. I think everybody's just like, what? So I think it's not necessarily it was funny. I think it was just they're like, this is the craziest thing I've heard.
And then at the end,
because he did say that's legitimately the craziest thing that's said at that dinner scene.
And then at the end, she's telling a joke, and I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, she wanted to laugh. She should have talked about the moon."
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our.
And then I think that adds another layer of the fact that Nick, like, maybe she just says weird things because she's just kind of got this weird sense of humor or something, instead of actually being mentally ill, kind of like his buddy. So I don't know. So, there's a lot of layers in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
So buy, rent, or skip.
I'm gonna go buy on it. I'm gonna go straight buy. I think it's great. I think it's great for people who are interested in film and studying film. I think it's a very important movie. Again, you got John Cassavetes, like we said, with Shadows. He's a very important filmmaker, especially with indie cinema. And then on top of it, this is just a really great movie. Not the most attention-grabbing movie in the world, but it's a very kind of, if you allow yourself to get sucked in, it's very intense and very powerful movie.
It's a movie that snuck up on me because I'm going to tell you about watching the movie, I was not really digging it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is long. Why is it so long? But gradually I start realizing, oh my God, I care about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It sneaks up on you. You actually are invested. Near the end, when the kids are like, "I love you, Mom," I'm like,
yeah, it's a powerful movie.
Yeah, like
it'll get you.
My girlfriend was tearing up, and I was like,
yeah.
it gets you. So when I first
warning, you may ugly cry.
The first, like after watching the movie, I was like, oh, I'm gonna probably give this a rent.
Yeah.
But after having a day to stew on it, think about the craft, think about like the story, think about the characters, I'm like, bye.
And along with a little convincing from yours truly.
No, me thinking about it, it's like, you know what? I'd buy this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say buy.
It'd be great if is this one that's available individually from the other set?
I don't know.
Because there's the 5, like I think it's 5, the John Cassavetes set that Criterion put out, which I would love to get, but it's normally a little bit pricey for me.
Yeah.
But like I don't remember if Woman Under the Influence, and I think there may be 1 or 2 others that might be sold like separate, but I'm not sure.
I'll look it up for you.
Okay, cool.
Amazon has it separately.
Cool.
It's on sale. Amazon Prime. It's on sale. $34.18.
There you go.
On DVD, not Blu-ray.
You can buy it separately if you only like that one.
Yeah.
Or you can buy this.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's our opinions on A Woman Under the Influence. Let us know on the comment section below what you think. Is there a Cassavetes movie that is better than this one? I would like to know.
And another thing, is there directors that didn't impress you, or these big time guys that you didn't like the first one you saw, but maybe you gave it another chance and you liked the next one and you really loved it, or let's get a discussion going, guys.
Yeah. And April might be over, but you can still suggest movies. Next week we're probably gonna do a fan suggested one that we wanted to do before.
Yes.
And someone suggested it, but I think it was Connor that suggested it. We're gonna do it next week. We're going back to doing this might be a suggested one. This might be one we want to watch. This one might be coming out soon that you want to buy.
This one's a combo because we wanted to do this one before, and we talked about it at length, and then for some reason it got bumped. I don't even remember why. For some reason it got bumped, and then months later somebody suggested it. So
yeah.
And we talked about doing it for this month, so we figured doing it right after would be fitting.
Yes. So the movie we're doing, I don't know what movie you're talking about. I don't know if we're talking about the same movie, but the next week's movie is going to be a David Lynch film.
Yeah,
yes. That one. Yes. So you can narrow it down. It's not Mulholland Drive, because we did that. So you can narrow it down. What's David Lynch on the Criterion?
An Elephant Man is not on Criterion yet.
David Lynch directed, not the Art Life one. that's about David Lynch, not that one.
That is true.
I would love to do that one. That one's a good one. Anyway, so let us know a suggestion below. Just let us know some more suggestions down below in the comment section. Also, let us know on Twitter at McNishMCP. So yeah. So until next time, we'll see you later.